Good morning, soldiers. This is Sergeant Merrill, and today we're going to revisit the FAL to see exactly what changes were made in the latest patch. So people toss around this word OP like it's just candy, like it's just nothing. If they die to a weapon more than 3 or 4 times in a single game, they have to say that that weapon is overpowered. And the FAL was certainly a weapon that I never thought would be considered overpowered, but apparently it has. And if you were like me and you were going through the patch notes, and you see some of the nerfs that they made to SMGs, at least in some capacity, you were a little bit happy. You're like, finally, fuck you guys. But then you're scrolling through it and you're like, what? FAL gets increased recoil when using the selector lever. Man, no, don't touch the FAL. And then people get all mad, right? Because I think the FAL just has like this loyal following right now. It's pretty incredible that the FAL and also the SMR as a consequence is just getting this massive kind of player basis behind it. Which is great because I've always been the type of person that's been like that has that passion for the semi-autos, even though now they're not so semi-auto. You can make them fully automatic, which has brought like a new crowd into the weapon. But anyway, once people saw that the FAL was even on this patch list, they got really upset. And a lot of people stopped using it entirely because they touched it. They think now it's nerfed. So now every time the FAL doesn't work out for them, they get really upset thinking that Treyarch touched it in some way and it's not as effective as it was before. So we're going to look at exactly what they did and did not do to this weapon. First off, guys, they didn't touch damage. They didn't touch the max range of anything. The only thing they touched on this weapon was increased vertical recoil when using the full auto option with the selector lever. That's the only thing that they touched. So what we're going to take a look at is how much more vertical recoil this thing has compared to pre-patch. And luckily, I did a little review on this before the patch, so I have some footage of what this looked like on full auto with the selector lever before the patch, and then we're going to see what it looks like after the patch. So here I yanked some footage that I did before they did that whole patch thing, and you can see that there's actually almost no recoil at all. There's almost no vertical recoil, period, which made this thing a laser beam. And I think maybe that's what had people so upset, or at least gave them a reason to be upset with the FAL. So let's take a look at what it is like now. So there's a little climb to it, and it's very, very gradual. If you sit here and let's watch this again, you can see just how gradual this is. So I don't think that this nerfs the FAL in any capacity, guys. That's something that you can easily drag downward with the weapon. It's not something that ruins the FAL. It's not something that is going to nerf it in any way, shape, or form. You just need a little bit more skill, because you have to keep that in the back of your mind when you're holding this thing down for your longer shots. And considering that a lot of the maps are small and you're not really going to have to consider that recoil for most of your engagements, this really isn't a game changer. But let's keep that between me and you. Let's keep that between us, FAL and battle rifle fans. How about that? So that when people sit there and say, oh, the FAL, it's so overpowered, you're so cheap for using the FAL, we can go ahead and let them know, hey man, Treyarch nerfed it, okay? It's nerfed, all right? I'm using a nerfed weapon. That's all I have for this video, guys. Hope you continue to enjoy your FAL gameplays, but that's all I have. This is Sergeant Merrill, out here.